Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oil Together Tuesday for our Oil Together Now team. We are live in our Oil Together Now Facebook group, and this video will also be posted to YouTube later. So hello to everybody ready to learn about September oils and promotions and upcoming events. So, this is a total side note, but I have a question for you that I would love your feedback on, whether you're watching this live now or whether you catch it later as a replay or whether you watch this on YouTube later. But if you happen to follow me on Instagram, the denim jacket is what's making me think of all of this. Again, total side note, but you might know that I've been on this quest to find a denim jacket, and that makes me think about Instagram. And so I have a question for you, because I love Instagram and I use it a lot, and I love Instagram stories. But my question for you is, where do you tend to get most of your essential oil information, tips, knowledge, education, and all of that? Do you tend to get, I'm talking about essential oils specifically, do you get that from Facebook, from Instagram, from YouTube? I'm talking about social media platforms too. I know a lot of us use books as a resource, but when it comes to online essential oil information, I'm curious to know where you tend to get most of your tips, knowledge, education, and all of that for essential oils. If you would just leave a comment or even send me a message. Do you use Facebook most often, Instagram, YouTube, or a combination, or something else? Hey, Lindsay. Glad you could join us. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about our September oils, which are rosemary and thyme. Got them upside down here. Here they are. Rosemary and thyme are the September promotional oils. Hey, Paige. So we're going to talk about ways to use those, what they're good for. I have some DIY recipes to share with you and some diffuser blends. We'll also talk about a current promotion going on called Level Up. And we're going to talk a little bit about convention, which is coming up next week. Very exciting. And other events for our team throughout the rest of the month of September. So, and at the very end, of course, we'll have our LRP Love giveaway. So let's jump right into all of that. Rosemary is our free product of the month for September. That means that if you place a loyalty order of 125 points or more by the 15th of this month, then you will automatically receive, hey Jen, you will automatically receive a free bottle of rosemary, full-size bottle of rosemary. Rosemary smells amazing. Who has smelled rosemary? Who loves rosemary? How do you like to use rosemary? Tell us your favorite ways to use rosemary. Who will be getting, who's already placed their order or is going to be placing it soon? Who already knows that they are getting a free bottle of rosemary with your loyalty order this month? I definitely am, which is good because I realized I was running low on it. This is my last full bottle of rosemary, so I'm excited to stock up on it. And I also wanted to ask who got a free bottle of laurel leaf last month. I forgot to grab that to show you, but laurel leaf was exciting last month. That was our free product of the month, and it's an oil that is not available to purchase any other way other than last month as the free product of the month with our loyalty orders. So I am enjoying using that new oil. I hope you are too. Who else got laurel leaf last month? Hey, Shirley. Happy September. So laurel leaf was last month. We have rosemary this month. And I also wanted to ask who was able to stock up during that awesome back to school sale that we had last month. That was a fun surprise. I totally stocked up. If you were able to stock up, tell us what you got last month during that back to school sale. I stocked up on the On Guard throat drops, the Breathe respiratory drops, On Guard hand soap, the kids vitamins, Mito 2 Max, and I can't remember what else, but those were the ones that I made sure to snag during that quick flash back to school sale. Okay, so let's jump into rosemary. Rosemary is our free product of the month, free oil of the month, and here are some ways to use it. It is good for airways, for respiratory health. You can diffuse a few drops of rosemary in your diffuser. Also, if you're just jumping on, remember to tell us a few of your favorite way to use rosemary. How do you like to use rosemary? And also let us know if you're getting free rosemary this month with your loyalty order, and did you get free laurel leaf last month with your loyalty order? And how are you using your laurel leaf? That's a brand new one for all of us. Okay, so airways. Rosemary is good for respiratory health. Put it in the diffuser. You can dilute it and apply to the chest area. You can use it for cleaning. It is cleansing. You can put it in a spray bottle of water and use that to clean surfaces in your home. You can use it to increase and enhance memory and concentration. It's great for this purpose combined with peppermint and frankincense, and you can diffuse it in the diffuser, or you can apply, dilute it and apply topically to the back of the neck is a good place to do that. So you can actually look this up. I've read studies that show that rosemary increases memory and concentration function. So that's pretty cool. And so do peppermint and frankincense. They all work together to help with that. So, and plus it just smells really good. It's a great combination, even just for the aroma, but then you get that added benefit of memory and concentration, and it supports the immune system. All three of those oils support immune system and respiratory health, so you're getting like a triple whammy. Also, it's good for energy. I like to combine it with wintergreen for that and put it in the diffuser. It also combines well with peppermint for energy, and basil is a good one to combine with rosemary for that purpose. And you want to swipe it, probably dilute and swipe it under the nose. You can also, hey Carla, you can also put it in the diffuser and diffuse that combination for energy. Rosemary is also really good for hair and for the scalp. A couple of ways that you can use it on your scalp and your hair is to just put a drop or two in your hands and massage it into the scalp once or twice a week. You can also, yeah, Carla is saying she didn't know rosemary was good for energy. It's so energizing. In fact, I'll jump down on my list here. It's also good for jet lag. So if that ever is a condition that affects you, you can swipe it under your nose or the back of the neck. But that's similar to being energizing. Anyway, back to the scalp and hair. So you can massage it into your scalp. You can also add it to your shampoo or conditioner. A couple drops to your shampoo and or conditioner, and get it on your hair and your scalp that way. Plus, again, it smells great. So like if you shower in the morning, that's a great way to wake up and open your sinuses and also affect your hair and your scalp. So it's good for keeping your scalp free from dry, itchy, flakiness. And it's also great for both dry hair or oily hair. It helps to kind of even out that going on the top of your head there. And it also is good for promoting hair growth. So all of those benefits from adding rosemary to your shampoo or conditioner, or again, just massaging it into your scalp with your, just from your hands. I also mentioned that it's good for immune support. So you can dilute and apply topically or diffuse it. You're going to get that immune support benefit. And it's helpful for muscles and joints. Hey, Sarah, glad you could join us tonight too. Dilute and apply to the area of concern, any joints or muscles. You can also add a drop or two to Deep Blue Rub for enhanced effect on your joints or muscles, or you can do a soak with Epsom salts and rosemary and frankincense. Doesn't that sound delightful? That will help with joints and muscles, and it also smells wonderful. And again, it's going to provide immune support and respiratory support. And I already mentioned jet lag, and you can cook with rosemary. So it's obviously an herb that we are familiar with, and many of us are used to using in the kitchen. Shirley said it's delicious in steamed rice. So any way that you would use the herb rosemary, you can use rosemary, the oil. Just a little reminder, if you've never cooked with essential oils before, to start out, a little goes a long way. So definitely start with just one drop at a time, and that will probably be enough for most of the things that you would be making. Sarah says she's watching with Jess and her mom, and they're playing with oils right now. Yay! Hello to Jess and mom also. Remember to tell us your favorite ways to use rosemary, or you know what, I should have mentioned, if rosemary is new for you, tell us that. Tell us why you're excited to get rosemary and try it. What do you want to try it for? So tell us your favorite ways to use rosemary, and let us know if you'll be getting it free this month as the free product of the month for September. So for cooking, start with 1 drop. You can do this in a number of ways. You can take a spoon, a metal spoon, and add 1 drop of rosemary to that spoon and then stir it in that way. That's a good way to make sure you don't get too much essential oil, because you can always add more, but you can't add less once you've added too much. You can also use a toothpick and just dip it in the bottle of oil and then swirl it into your dish. And then I'm going to share another way with you in a minute that you can use rosemary in the kitchen for cooking that I use regularly in my house, and I love it. Actually, that's my next thing, so let's talk about that. So one recipe that I love and that I use rosemary for with some other oils is a DIY seasoning salt, an easy seasoning salt. I use my oils plus unrefined sea salt to make this seasoning salt, and then I use that salt on roast beef in my crock pot. It's so easy and it tastes so good. I love it. And here's the ingredients. Here's the recipe for that. So it would be great on other meats too, but it's just kind of my go-to seasoning salt when I am cooking a roast in my crock pot. So, and it also makes a great gift. So this is for a 4-ounce jar, which is like this. This is just a 4-ounce ball canning jar. You can use other kinds of jars, but this is what I typically have on hand. So in a 4-ounce jar, you are going to quadruple this recipe that I'm going to share with you. This is just the basic, simple recipe, and then you can scale it up to make whatever quantity you want. So to fill a 4-ounce jar, like for gift giving or just for your own pantry, you would want to quadruple this recipe. So the basic recipe is 2 tablespoons unrefined sea salt. I'm not going to talk a lot about that now. I've written about this on my blog. Make sure that you are not using regular table salt, not for this recipe and not just in your home for cooking or on your table or whatever. Make sure you're using unrefined sea salt. Regular table salt is really bad for you. So all the bad things that you've heard about salt, that is definitely true about regular table salt. But unrefined sea salt is completely different from regular table salt. Unrefined sea salt is actually very nourishing to your body. We need all of those trace minerals in unrefined sea salt, and that's what you want to use for this recipe. So for a long time I used Redmond's real salt, and I've now started using Celtic sea salt. Either of those are really good. And so start with 2 tablespoons of unrefined sea salt, and then you're going to add these 6 essential oils, 2 drops of basil, and then for the next 5 oils, it will just be 1 drop. 1 drop thyme, which is another one of our September oils, 1 drop marjoram, 1 drop rosemary, 1 drop lavender, 1 drop fennel. And so I know lavender sounds like a strange flavor to add to this, and I was a little skeptical at first when I tried this, but I am telling you, I love this recipe. My family eats it regularly, and I've turned on multiple friends to this recipe who love it too. So just give it a try. I think you'll like it. But again, 2 tablespoons unrefined sea salt, 2 drops basil, 1 drop thyme, 1 drop marjoram, 1 drop rosemary, 1 drop lavender, 1 drop fennel. Carla is asking, will pink Himalayan, I'm assuming you're asking, will pink Himalayan salt work? It probably depends on the brand. I'm not as knowledgeable about pink Himalayan salt. I think good quality pink Himalayan salt also tends to be more expensive. So I would recommend just a regular, good quality, unrefined sea salt. And I would have to do research on the pink Himalayan salt. I think pink Himalayan salt is good for your health, so you could probably use that too. You want a fine, like you don't want it to be really that big coarse salt. But I guess you could also chop it in your blender too if you do have a coarse pink Himalayan salt. So you can probably use the pink Himalayan salt. I've always made it with unrefined sea salt, so I can't speak to the pink Himalayan salt. Anyway, just put it all in a bowl and mix it together. Mix it really well. Make sure the oils, are distributed throughout the salt, and then put it in a storage jar. It's as easy as that. It makes a great gift. You can put a label on it. and give it, actually on my blog, I have a recipe. There's the recipe for the salt, and it's all in the same blog post, the recipe for the seasoning salt, and then the slow cooker roast recipe. So what I do when I give the salt as a gift is I just print out that slow cooker roast recipe and put it together with the salt so they know what to do with it and how to use it. Okay, rosemary diffuser blends. Here are 3 for you. I couldn't pick just 2, so I have 3 to share with you. I love rosemary. It smells amazing. This is one of my favorite diffuser blends. It is good for just kind of refreshing and energizing. It's a very clean, fresh scent. I hope you love it as much as I do. You're going to use wild orange, clove, and rosemary. You want 3 drops of wild orange, 2 drops of clove, and 2 drops of rosemary. Put that in your diffuser. It's also going to support your immune system and, again, your respiratory function with that rosemary. Here is one for focus, and this is actually, I shared this last month because it has laurel leaf in it, our new special free product of the month from August. Here is one for focus, 2 drops each of rosemary, laurel leaf, and wild orange. And then one more because I also love this diffuser blend, and you can, like any variation of this is great, but here is a good place to start. 3 drops lime, 3 drops lemon, 2 drops lavender, and 2 drops rosemary. And I've also done that either without the lime or without the lemon, like just with 3 oils to simplify. So you could do the lime, lavender, and rosemary, or the lemon, lavender, and rosemary. So try those in your diffuser and see what you think. Let us know which ones are your favorite. And let's talk about thyme now. So thyme is our sale oil this month. Every month we have an oil or sometimes a product that is not an oil, but every month we have something that is 10% off, and thyme is that sale oil this month. The regular wholesale price of thyme is $29.50, so you can save 10% on that during the month of September. What are your favorite ways to use thyme? Let us know. Share with us how you like to use thyme at your house. And I totally forgot to put this part in my notes, but I can tell you just from my own knowledge, thyme is great for the immune system. It is great for respiratory function, specifically when you've got lingering or very, I'm not supposed to use phrases like this, but if you've got a troubling respiratory something going on, you need thyme. And I'm going to tell you a little story and give you a recipe. I have several recipes for you for using thyme. It's also great. It's also soothing and helps to promote sleep. So respiratory support, immune support, and sleep are 3 big uses for thyme. And here are some recipes for you. So one way that we use thyme a lot at my house is in our immune support roller blend, which I have talked about often. Oops. My label is starting to come off, but this is one of my many immune support roller blends that is floating around our house. We keep them everywhere, in everybody's bedroom, in the bathrooms, in the kitchen, in my purse, next to beds. I want to make sure that we have access to this when we need it because it's so effective at supporting the immune system. You want to use this when you feel like you might be coming down with something, when you've been around germs, and definitely if you are under the weather, you want to use this a lot. So just as general preventive measures, you can just use it once a day. But if your immune system is actively fighting something, then you want to use it multiple times throughout the day, even every hour if you can. So just keep it with you. And this is a great roller blend to mix up and have ready to go for this back to school season as we head into fall and winter. So here is the recipe. This is a 5 milliliter roller bottle. You want about 10 drops each of these 5 oils: oregano, on guard, thyme, melaleuca, and lemon. And then top off the roller bottle with fractionated coconut oil. Give it a good shake, and always good to label your roller bottles so you know what it is. And then again, I recommend stashing those throughout your house, in your desk drawer, your purse, people's backpacks, wherever. and then use it, apply it on your spine, up and down the spine, and on the soles of the feet. So soles of the feet is a good place to apply, but sometimes during the fall and winter when we tend to need this roller blend, it can be harder to get to the feet. We're wearing socks and shoes. So the spine is a great place to apply. And again, do that once a day for preventive measures and multiple times throughout the day if you are actively under the weather. That is the Immune Support Roller Blend. And then a similar blend that works great for supporting respiratory health and also immune health, as I hydrate. Ooh, from all that talking, my throat gets dry. Is the Steaming Mug of Death. Who has used the Steaming Mug of Death before? And there are variations on this recipe. You can use the oils as you become more familiar with the oils and what each of them do. You can mix it up and vary the recipe, but this is a recipe that I tend to use at my house. Who has used the Steaming Mug of Death before, or some variation of it? Maybe you call it something else. But the Steaming Mug of Death is a mug of warm water, like we boil water and then pour the boiling water into the mug, and then you're going to add 1 drop each. And actually, I should revise this and tell you, well, I'll tell you the recipe and then I'll tell you a sort of a variation of the recipe. 1 drop of each of these oils in your mug of boiling water: oregano, peppermint, melaleuca, which is tea tree, thyme, and lemon. So it's really similar to the Immune Support Roller Blend. Carla has used the Steaming Mug of Death, and Sarah says she needs that mug recipe. Who is under the weather? Yeah, it is so effective. Well, let me tell you the method and the variation on the recipe, and then I'll tell you about someone in my family who really benefits from this blend. So you want to make a steam tent. So you've got your mug of warm water, you've put your oils in it, and then you want a bath towel or beach towel size towel, and you're gonna sit at a table, and your face is gonna be over the mug, and you're gonna use the towel, drape the towel over you to make like a tent. So a couple of tips: make sure your eyes are closed, or it will be an experience you will never forget. Keep some tissues handy, have some tissues handy in case, it tends to just kind of open everything up and you're probably gonna get drippy. Sarah, this recipe is also on my blog and I have a YouTube video about it. I will post links to all of that, or you can go back and watch that recipe again. But I'm gonna tell you a variation also. So you wanna inhale for about 5 to 10 minutes, so set a timer. So you've got your towel, you've got some tissues, you make sure to close your eyes, you set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes, just breathe deeply. If it's too strong for you, just kind of vent your tent, open the towel a little bit and let some more air in, because it's really strong at first. But that is what's so powerful. It's going to open your airways, and it's really effective at targeting those lingering and troubling respiratory issues, whether it's sinus or chest that you're dealing with. Hey, Denise. Happy September to you. Glad you could join us tonight. So here's the variation, is that if you follow the recipe that I just mentioned, 1 drop each of those 5 oils, that's a lot of oil in 1 small mug of water, and it can be very strong. And at my house, there is 1 child in particular who really benefits from this blend, and that's a lot of oil for a kid too. So what I have done, and I should have grabbed this to show you, but I think this might be in my video about this on YouTube, but hey Faith, glad you could join us. I actually recycle an empty essential oil bottle, and I usually try to pick one of my empties that is one of the oils in the blend. And then what I do is I add that same ratio, 1 drop of each of those 5 oils, and I fill up I probably don't fill it up the whole way, but I add that equal ratio, probably about half of a bottle. And then I put a dropper top in this, and we keep it in the kitchen, and I put a label on it that says Mug of Death. And that makes it really easy with the dropper top. It's easier for the kids to use, and it's handier for all of us. And it also allows us to get less of those really powerful oils that might be too overpowering for kids. So from that dropper that has the ratio of equal parts of all 5 of those oils, for kids, we only do 1 or 2 drops of that. Denise is saying, I made your mug of death last spring. Oh my goodness, it worked so well. I'm so glad. It's so effective. And Deb D'Arienzo is watching. Hi, Deb. Welcome. Okay, so that's what I do at my house is I combine it in a little dropper bottle. And here's another twist that we add at our house that is really effective. It helps it be even more effective for those respiratory things you're trying to target is after you have done your steam tent and you've inhaled, here's the twist. Take your mug of water, which will have cooled a little bit. You might want to leave a little bit of room in your mug to add some cold water for this part so that it won't be so hot. Faith is saying at the rate she's going, she'll need a mug of death by tomorrow. Oh no. Well, please do something. Get out your oils to support yourself. Katie, hi Katie. Okay, so then you're going to take your mug. Remember, you can add some cold water if you need to bring the temperature down a little bit, and then you're going to gargle with it. So go to the bathroom or wherever, and hi, everybody's waving and watching me from the D'Arienzo clan, and I don't even know if I say your last name correctly, but you can correct me. Anyway, so gargle. You want to get that oil and the all that liquid on the back of your throat, like let it really coat your throat. Faith says she's all oiled up. Good, I'm glad. Hi, Katie. So it will be strong, and it gets stronger as you go. Like the less water, as the water level goes down in your cup, the more, because the oil and the water don't really mix. So as you keep gargling, you're going to get a little bit of oil and then a little more oil. And then at the end, it's like all that oil is waiting to get on your throat. So try to, mix it up as you go if you can, and supervise kids when they do this. But they're laughing at me. I'm glad I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. He's now 9, but he's been doing this for a couple of years because for some reason, do you have people in your family, or maybe it's you, like things just hit people different ways, and we see patterns. Like for my 9-year-old, when he gets stuff, it really just hangs out in his sinuses. He really struggles sometimes to get his sinus function back. It just lingers and lingers. And there was one time a couple of years ago when I was really concerned about how long it was lingering, and even wondering if it was turning into something more serious. And so I really wanted to stay ahead of it. So I had him do this mug of death at least daily, and even twice a day when we could remember and, get our act together. And that is what helped him finally get over that hump and clear out that respiratory stuff. And Faith, it's you. What's you? Anyway, so maybe somebody at your house, things tend to settle in your chest. That's me. My stuff tends to linger in my chest, and then I have a hard time getting rid of it from there. And my 9-year-old, again, really struggles with it in his sinuses. So this has been super effective. So now we know, it's been a couple of years with him. So at the first, like when he starts getting a little bit stuffy, I start having him do a steam tent every day, and we are able to stay ahead of it that way, and it never really escalates. So, Faith is saying it's her. She's the snotty person in the family. Okay, so you need to make yourself a little blend of the mug of death and just keep it wherever, like in your kitchen, so that it makes it easy for you to do this. I know if you're a mom and a busy person, it's hard to stop and take like 5 to 10 minutes to sit in one place with your head under a towel, but I guarantee you it will be so effective, and you don't have time to get sick. You don't have time you can't afford not to do it. So give it a try, Faith, if you've never tried the steaming mug of death before. Anyway, that's my steaming mug of death story. And then I have one more really important and helpful respiratory blend to share with you with thyme, and that is thyme and marjoram. I did not grab my marjoram to show you. I think I have some right over there, but thyme and marjoram. If you have little people at your house, this is good for any people of any age, but especially if you have little people. I've told this story before, and I'm not going to go through the whole story because, again, I have a whole YouTube video about this as well. But it was so impactful for me as a mom with a little baby. I can't believe it was this long ago, but my littlest boy, who is now 5, when he was an infant, he had a really scary episode. This had not happened to me with my older 2 boys, maybe this happens sometimes at your house, but I've been a mom for a long time and I had never experienced this yet, but it's one of those things that you have heard about, and when you hear this barking cough, oh my word, what it is, and not to mess around with it. And so that happened to I think he was around 6 months old, maybe a little older, but he was definitely under a year. And he woke up just struggling to breathe. It was really late at night, like 11:30ish. And I was getting dressed, like ready to take him out to get attention. But I looked it up in my book, my essential oils reference book, and we were able, again, I have a whole blog post about this and a whole YouTube video, but we were able to use a hot steaming shower and taking him out into the cool night air, all wrapped up in a blanket. And then we used this blend. We just diluted thyme and marjoram, like a bunch of coconut oil in my hand with 1 drop thyme, 1 drop marjoram, and just put it all over his chest and his neck. And we put it in his diffuser. And praise the Lord, I didn't have to go anywhere with him. That's the last thing I wanted to do, was take him out of our home late, in the middle of the night, take him into bright lights, expose him to germs and people he didn't know, looking at him and examining him. What he needed was rest, and what we needed was rest. And I was so excited to be able to use my oils to support him and not, to be able to avoid having to go through that hassle and that stress of taking him somewhere. Excuse me, I dropped my notes. But anyway, so here is here's what I recommend. I didn't know that. I whipped this blend up on the spot, but my littlest guy who had that problem, we realized, just like my 9-year-old struggles with his sinuses, my 5-year-old, this has happened again with him, and it happens probably once or twice a year for him. But now I know what to do, and we know the signs, and we're able to stay ahead of it again. And I've never had to take him to get outside help because I know how to deal with it at home. And so what I've done is I've mixed up our own bottle, and I put instructions on it because sometimes my husband or even a babysitter needs to apply it. So apply to chest and back is what it says. So I mixed up, I can't remember the exact ratio, but I'm pretty sure it's in the links that I'll post here, the blog post and the YouTube video. And when you become familiar with using the oils, you will be confident in just kind of devising your own ratios anyway. But you want to dilute it heavily because thyme is a hot oil, and the littler the body, the more dilution you want to use. But so fractionated coconut oil, and then you want to add a little bit of thyme and a little bit of marjoram. And it just smells so wonderful. It's such a soothing smell. In fact, that's one of the diffuser blends I'm going to share with you, is thyme and marjoram for sleeping. But it also supports the respiratory system, respiratory function. So mix that up in a bottle. I actually like to recycle. You can probably tell this is a recycled fractionated coconut oil bottle. I don't ever throw mine away. I save them and I use them to mix up blends like that. Even though it's plastic, I feel comfortable using it for essential oil blends because it's really thick, sturdy plastic, and those oils are diluted. They're in a carrier oil, and it makes it safer to keep in a bathroom around, hard tile floors and porcelain sinks and vanities and showers and things. And then you can get pump tops to add to your empty fractionated coconut oil bottles. So I save my empties and I use them to mix up those blends, and then I use my label maker to add those labels. And I've learned to add instructions like this and just keep everything really clearly labeled. But I keep a bottle of that on our main level, and I keep a bottle of that upstairs in the kids' bathroom so that it's nearby and I can use it for my 5-year-old whenever he's struggling. He's the only one in our family who has struggled with that and has really needed that support. But I use it on myself now too, because I mentioned that stuff for me tends to settle in my chest. So I will use that to support my own respiratory stuff and stay ahead of that so it doesn't escalate in my chest. Deb is saying respiratory info is very timely tonight. You're welcome. Yes, we're headed into that season. You can have respiratory troubles any time of year, but of course the colder months tend to be more challenging for respiratory issues. So you definitely want to have that trick up your sleeve. And then some diffuser blends for thyme. I already mentioned thyme and marjoram, 2 drops each in your diffuser. It's lovely. And another one that you can try with thyme is kind of uplifting, also supports the respiratory system, is thyme, eucalyptus, and lime. And it's 1, 2, 3 drops. So 1 drop thyme, 2 drops eucalyptus, 3 drops lime. Again, smells really great, helps to support respiratory function, is kind of energizing, uplifting. And then I'm gonna blow through the rest of this information. I spent so much time talking about rosemary and thyme because I love those oils. And if you don't have rosemary or thyme in your collection, you need to take advantage of that this month. Get your free rosemary by placing your 125-point loyalty order by the 15th of September, and then take advantage of the 10% off on thyme and stock up on that so that you are ready for respiratory challenges this fall and winter. Okay, so I wanted to talk for just a minute about this cool thing going on right now called Level Up. This is for any of you who have not yet made it to earning 20% back through your loyalty ordering. So remember, when you place loyalty orders, it's like a frequent flyer program. Every time you order through the loyalty program, you're earning a percentage back. And the longer you order through the loyalty program, the more you earn back. So you start out earning, is it 10%? I just totally blanked. 10%, and then 15%, and then 20, 25, and 30. It maxes out at 30. But if you haven't made it to 20% yet, if you're still in your first 6 months, it goes up every 3 months. So after 3 months of ordering through Loyalty Rewards program, then it goes up to 15, etc. So you can immediately jump up to earning 20% back through this Level Up promotion during the month of September only. So if you place a 150-point loyalty order during September, you will immediately start earning 20% back in those frequent flyer points, the reward points, beginning with your October order. So you can find out all the information about this on the website, and I'll post a link for that after I'm done being live on video. But I wanted to make sure everybody knows about that, especially our new folks in their first 6 months. And then excitement for September. September is always our annual doTERRA convention in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is next week. I leave on Monday. We have other fun folks from our Oil Together Now team joining all of us in Salt Lake City next week. Convention is the dates, the schedule is different this year, and I keep forgetting I think it's the 11th, 12th, and 13th. I forget, is it Thursday, Friday, Saturday this year, which is different from usual. But anyway, we're excited. So this year's theme is together. It's always one word. And this year, 2019 convention is together. You can watch the live stream. You can see everything that we see and find out everything that we find out by purchasing a live stream ticket. And I'm pretty sure it's good for 30 days. Like, you can watch it live with us during convention, and then you have 30 days, I think, to go back, and if you missed certain parts or you want to rewatch something, and I will post the link for that too. It's $60 for a live stream ticket. And if you're local in Northern Virginia, I know some of our upline are having a live stream watching party in the Ashburn area. If you're interested in that, let me know and I can get you that information. But we're excited. We will find out every year during convention. We find out what this year's brand new products are. Those of us at convention will get to buy a convention kit and bring those new products home with us. And I'm hoping to do some videos and lots of posts during the week of convention. So keep your eye on this public education Facebook group for all of the updates. And also the week after convention is our next, it will be the third Tuesday night of the month, which is when our second Oil Together Tuesday is on Facebook Live here. So I'm going to be doing that one again this month, a special post-convention edition to tell you about the new products and fill you in on all of those fun updates. And then also there is a post-convention event again in Northern Virginia, Saturday, September 28th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Purcellville roller rink if you're interested in attending that live event and getting to experience and smell all the new products. Let me know and I can get you information on that too. And then our September Facebook class, the date has not been decided yet. It will probably be the last week of September, so stay tuned for those details. And now we have finally arrived at the loyalty rewards program, the LRP Love giveaway. Remember that we do this twice a month. On the first and third Tuesday of every month, we have Oil Together Tuesday, which is what this is right now. And at the end of every Oil Together Tuesday, we do an LRP Love giveaway. LRP Love because we love the loyalty rewards program and we think everybody should be doing loyalty rewards because it is the smartest way to purchase your oils. You earn those points, you get to cash those points in for free oils, and you get the free product of the month, the Rosemary this month that we were just talking about. And so we do this LRP Love giveaway twice a month. Just by placing your loyalty order, it makes you eligible to be a winner to win one of our LRP Love giveaway prizes. So this is the first Tuesday night of September, which means that all of the winners tonight are Oil Together Now team members who placed a loyalty order of any amount during August. Okay, first, thank you, Faith. Faith is talking to Katie. Katie said it's her first time going to convention this year. She's so excited. I'm so excited that you're coming, Katie. And Faith says, lucky you have so much fun. Katie can't wait to find out what the new oils and products will be. Yes, that's one of my favorite parts of convention is to find out what the new oils and products are and to learn about them and how to use them and to get to bring them home and smell them and be some of the first people to use them. Okay, so we have 3 winners tonight for LRP Love giveaway. One winner is receiving a prize from another awesome leader on our team, Rachel Hunsberger, is awarding 3 spray tops, and I'm not sure on the exact details of those, but she can fill us in. And her winner is Linda Brooks. Linda Brooks wins 3 spray tops from Rachel Hunsberger. And then I have 2 identical prizes right here. I think they're already wrapped up. This is a wrapped up little roller of Citrus Bloom. Who loves Citrus Bloom? Did y'all get Citrus Bloom during the Mother's Day promotion this year? It smells amazing, and you can use this as a personal fragrance. And then there are a couple of other fun things in here. There's an oil keychain tool that helps you get the little plastic orifices off of your essential oil bottles without ruining your fingernails. And then there are some of my favorite labels from Share Oils. A couple of fun sheets of labels there from one of my favorite online retailers of essential oil accessories, shareoils.com. So I have 2 identical prize packages, and my 2 winners are Laura Mayer and Faith Evans, who incidentally were the first 2 people to comment when I asked who placed their loyalty order last month and was therefore eligible to win our LRP Love giveaway tonight. So I love to reward participation, and those were the first 2 people to respond, Laura Mayer and Faith Evans. So both of you will be receiving that Citrus Bloom roller and the oil keychain tool and the labels, and I hope you enjoy them. So that is a wrap for tonight. You're welcome, Faith. I'm glad you could be here live for this tonight. Happy September again. Make sure to get your free Rosemary with your 125-point loyalty order placed by September 15th. Take advantage of 10% off of Thyme all month long. If you're in your first 6 months, be sure to check out that Level Up promotion and jump up to earning 20% back on your loyalty orders. Stay tuned next week for lots of exciting updates from convention. The following week, the 3rd week of September, the 3rd Tuesday night, which is, I believe, the 17th of September, will be our next Oil Together Tuesday, our next LRP Love giveaway. When you place your 100-point loyalty order by the 15th of this month, that makes you eligible to be one of our winners at the next Oil Together Tuesday on the 3rd Tuesday night of September. So the next time you hear from me, I will probably be in Salt Lake City at convention. I can't wait to share updates with you from Salt Lake City. So good night, everybody. Happy September and happy almost convention time. Happy oiling, everybody.